Hi, Jenna here. Welcome back to Every Frame. Today I'm going to explain a 2017 thriller horror film titled 12 Feet Deep. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. While on the phone, the manager pins the closing notes around the pool for the long holiday. Bree puts her ring in the bag so that she can begin her practice. Later, Jonna, Bree's sister who has recently returned from drug rehab, joins her in the pool. Meanwhile, Clara, the janitor, is caught by the manager stealing money from the lost and found room. This is the third time she has done it. Clara is warned to do the pool cleaning today, or she will be fired. The manager informs the swimmers that it is time to close the pool. Bree notices her engagement ring is missing while packing things. Jonna notices it stuck in the sewer grate in the water. Bree quickly jumps into the pool to fetch the ring. However, the ring becomes jammed in the grate, and Jonna attempts to assist Bree but is unsuccessful. The manager is happy that everyone has left on time, so he presses the button to cover the pool for the upcoming long holiday. Jonna and Bree try to get up, but it's too late. Bree tries to calm Jonna down as she becomes angry. No one stays at the pool to assist the sisters at the time. The two then lift the lid, but it is made of fiberglass and is nearly unbreakable. Jonna begins to start shouting at Bree for putting their lives in danger for a stupid ring. Bree then explains that it is her engagement ring, and she wants to show it off to Jonna. Bree and Jonna notice a small hole while inspecting the fiberglass cover. It is so small that even a hand cannot fit it through. Jonna admits at this point that she is jealous of Bree's life while she is in drug rehab. Bree has a perfect life and a wedding on the horizon, whereas Jonna is struggling in rehab. After years in the center, Jonna is forced to deal with her problems on her own. Bree eventually finds that Jonna chosen to throw her ring earlier. Soon after, the two start arguing. Bree decides to return to the ring by herself. She eventually gets it out of the metal grate. Later, the sisters agree to stop fighting and instead seek help. Bree suggests raising the grate, but Jonna is right. It is too heavy to open. Time passes until the pool's lights turn off at the end of the day. Bree's fiancé, David, keeps calling, but her phone is now in her bag. Jonna accuses David of calling hours, but failing to look for them. Jonna has had no faith in David since the beginning. The sisters argue about David once more. Bree gets a severe headache shortly after that. Bree admits to being diagnosed with diabetes 3 years ago. Her blood sugar level is rapidly dropping. She will go into a diabetic coma if she does not take her insulin shot on a regular basis. Unfortunately, the insulin shot has now been kept inside her purse. Jonna is shocked, but she assures Bree that she will take the shot as soon as she can. The two then use a plastic piece found in the pool to widen the hole. When Jonna starts asking questions about her family while she is away, Bree reveals that her father was an aggressive alcoholic and drug addict. Bree intended to burn down the house that killed him. The two hear the door open suddenly and unexpectedly. Clara, the janitor, is getting ready to leave. Clara is shocked to find two women trapped in the pool. Clara enters the control room and switches off the camera system after realizing it is activated. The sisters assume she is going to help them when she picks up Bree's bag and takes away her cash, phone, and credit card. Clara then asks the girls' phone PIN codes from them. Bree tries to do so, but Jonna stops her as they start to wonder about Clara's strange attitude. Clara discusses her time spent in prison as well as her current struggles with her kids and her monthly bills. Clara stops the sisters and turns off the heater. In an attempt to gain Clara's cooperation, Bree is forced to offer a deal by giving her the PIN code. After taking Bree's card and leaving with it, Clara makes a promise to return as soon as she can withdraw the money. The girls are left with no choice but to wait all night. Jonna dives down to the metal grate as Bree's conditions worsen. Jonna is too exhausted from the cold water to handle the metal grate by herself. Jonna dives upwards and accuses herself of being weak and cowardly. The sisters warm each other by accepting. As she had promised, Clara returns in the morning and teases the two helpless women. At this point, Jonna makes an attempt to be friendly with the janitor by asking for help giving Bree the insulin shot. Clara threatens to let the sisters starve to death in the pool because of their stupid behavior, because there is only $80 on Bree's credit card. Later, Jonna makes the decision to make good on her earlier promise and punish Clara for her cruelty. Clara is invited to get closer to the hole in the pool cover by Jonna, who is acting teary. Jonna suddenly stabs Clara in the ear with the pointy plastic as she puts her ear to the hole. Clara screams in agony. Clara rushes to look into the injuries and tried to stop the bleeding coming from her ear. Once the automatic pool cleaning system is turned on by the janitor, the sisters choke on chlorine. The sisters beg Clara for help and support. Clara turns it off after a while after realizing the danger in her actions. Clara claims she has nothing left to lose at this point. She wants the sisters to be held accountable for their behavior. Bree's engagement ring, which is the sisters' most valued asset, is demanded by Clara. Bree decides to give Clara her ring because she's had enough of the suffering. Claire leaves the pool once more carrying the ring. In her desperation, Jonna started to cry while blaming herself for everything. Bree comforts Jonna and accepts her responsibility for the mistakes. Bree starts to have hallucinations after spending hours in the water. David shows up to save Bree as the pool cover finally opens. Jonna, however, is not present. She suddenly awakens and realizes Jonna has clearly disappeared into the pool. Bree slowly turns around after getting cold and tired and notices Jonna with the piece of sharp plastic stuck in her neck. Jonna wants to commit suicide. Bree urges Jonna to calm down and have faith in their ability to survive. Jonna claims that even if they move past this, Bree will continue living a wonderful life while she will relapse into drug abuse. Bree began to cry and claims that Jonna is someone she will always need in her life and that no one will ever leave her. After many years, the two sisters finally reconcile. David calls back while Clara is putting on Bree's ring. David will call 911 because he hasn't seen Clara at home, according to the voicemails, which Clara listens to. Clara makes one more appearance at the pool to speak to the sisters, as she worries about being sent to prison once more. If the two don't promise not to talk about her to anyone else, Clara threatens to leave them in the pool for good. In times of happiness, Jonna and Bree embrace one another. To let Bree and Jonna out, Clara decides to open the pool cover, but the passcode the manager gave her is no longer functional. Laura explains the situation to the two and says that she is tired of it. Clara then departs, leaving the sisters to decide their fate. Jonna and Bree are now experiencing their worst fear. After another night has passed, Bree appears to be in a coma. She is able to be awoken from it by Jonna. Bree reveals that during the accident that killed their father, she actually stopped him from fleeing, saying, "I killed that monster." Jonna decides to try to lift the metal grate once more. After several failures, she takes the tower from Bree and hooks it to the grate. She succeeds in removing one piece at a time. Jonna returns to Bree and is horrified to see that she is drowned in the water after passing out completely. Bree needs to be given CPR by Jonna in order for her to become conscious. To remove the cover from the hole, Jonna uses all of her remaining strength. To widen the hole, Jonna tears off the fragiles, bleeding her arm. The sisters eventually manage to get out of the pool. Bree receives an insulin shot right away from Jonna, who is unsure of Bree's survival rate. Clara suddenly shows up, pointing a gun at the two. After considering what would happen if they didn't die in the pool and realizing that she does not want to go back to prison, she threatens to kill Bree and Jonna. However, feeling guilty and sympathetic, Clara slowly puts the gun down and gives Jonna the ring back. Clara is instructed to leave by Jonna as she calls the ambulance and police to assist Bree. Bree is awake, receiving the ring back from Jonna in the final scene. The two sisters start crying and leave the pool behind the officers. And the movie ends. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.